Hey there, Hoops fans and LeBron observers everywhere. It is your boy Jonathan Macri here with you for I've been waiting to do this for like a week and a half. The final episode of NBA Takedown for the 20 what did we just finish? The 25-26 season before we take a little bit of a summer breather. I am here with Shawn with the W. Jeff Johnson is on a plane. I have no idea where he's going. I somewhere good, I hope.
Somewhere good.
So we're good.
Somewhere good.
So we're good. Wait, Jeff doesn't go any place bad. He's too good to go bad places. How you doing, Shawn?
I'm good. And yes, Jeff does not go bad places, except for one place, a place where a lot of bad things happen because, as we all know, bad things happen in Philadelphia.
When's the last time you've been to Philly?
I didn't go. I didn't go this year. I feel like I was there last year.
Oh, so recently.
Yeah,
fairly
pretty
recently.
recently.
Okay.
Yeah, if not last year, definitely the year before.
My wife and I went down. I've said this a few times, but before we had kids, we used to go to. Our goal was to do 3 different ballparks every summer, and we kept it up for like 4 years. One of the summers we did. I don't know what the hell the name of the Phillies ballpark is, but we went down there and we got a cheesesteak from what the frig? They had
Geno's.
No, not one of the two places that are across from one another. It's like supposed to be like the best spot, and we didn't realize it at the time. They had a location in the ballpark, but we went to the original. Anyway, this is a very good cheesesteak. I have nothing else nice to say, or really anything to say about Philadelphia, other than that. This doesn't change the most important thing about the Knicks Sixers rivalry, which is of course fuck Joel Embiid. Other than that, I'm like utterly what was your first reaction? Because my first reaction was like, holy shit. That was basically that.
My first reaction was, yes. Oh, he actually did it.
He actually did it, yeah.
My second reaction was, of the 3 rumored teams, this was always the one I figured he'd go to.
4 teams. Or are you not counting Golden State?
Oh, yeah. I thought he'd end up at Golden State, but when that Shams report came out that it was between Cleveland, Miami, and Philly, I was like, Philly is where I think he's going to end up, because I don't think it's going to like Cleveland backed themselves in the corner trading for James Harden and promising him a wink deal to get his money. Because if they don't do that, then I think he's in Cleveland. Miami would have been interesting, but I'm
fascinated by the Miami piece of this.
I don't know if one LeBron James had in him to stomach another return to a team that didn't have nice things to say about him on the way out. And although I'm not going to say anything Pat Riley said in that press conference that was anywhere close to that Comic Sans letter.
Do you think hold on. Do you think Pat Riley, we'll get to Philly because that's the most interesting part of this. Do you think Pat Riley did himself any favors in either the press conference or the Le Batard appearance?
So I have not seen the Le Batard appearance.
I mean, did you see the clip?
I didn't see the clip.
So basically, he was like, what's the best way to describe Riley? He was like, things have softened over the years, but and I think he acknowledged maybe like feelings were hurt initially, but like at no point in time did he for what I would consider, what LeBron James would consider bending the knee. I don't think at any time Pat Riley bent the knee, because I don't think Pat Riley has it in him to bend the knee. And I don't think LeBron James is ever going to go anywhere where there wasn't going to be the full welcome party and the whole thing that LeBron James has been used to for 20, however many years he's been in the league now.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, and Pat Riley doesn't have to bend the knee to anybody if he's Pat Riley who's won everything.
If he wants to win again, I mean, I don't know that. What is that team? Are they they're not a playoff team. They're a play-in team. They're not a playoff team. Whatever.
So there's every NBA team to a certain extent takes care of their stars legally or illegally, whatever, right? But to your point about the pomp and circumstance that LeBron James and the treatment that he's going to be used to, that he has been used to, he knows Miami is not going to. No,
they don't operate that way.
They'd rather look good and lose than look bad and win. And what in the eyes of Pat Riley things.
The irony, I didn't want this to turn into a fucking Miami Heat conversation. The irony is that I think at one point in time you could have argued that their way of going about their business supported winning, and that just hasn't been the case for a while. Maybe because the league has changed, maybe because stars have changed, whatever it is. But like, I'm not. The Miami's the fact that he didn't go to Miami is interesting. It's really not that interesting because the basketball fit was never a great basketball fit either.
Yes,
one of the things I'm thinking about is what was for you when you thought of him potentially going to Cleveland? What was the thing? What was your hang up in terms of the basketball fit with Cleveland? I'm curious if we're on the same page.
There's one ball and they have James Harden.
Bingo. So that was my hang up too, and I think that was a lot of people's hang ups. And then if you want to say, okay, also defensively, it's like LeBron James is whatever he is, 41, maybe 42 years old. So not exactly the starting small forward you want backing up a starting duo of James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. But Evan Mobley's still a great defensive player. And Jared Allen's, he's good. And you don't obviously have to play all three of those guys together. Like they have some young pieces you bring off the bench, whatever. But it was the only one ball thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now he goes to Philly.
And I double checked.
Is there
in Philadelphia? There's still one ball.
And so that's what I'm wrestling with. I'm like, but at the same time, listen, you can make all the jokes you want. There is something very intriguing about him going on the floor and completing that starting five. For me, at least. Maybe you disagree.
No, it's because you just have to think about the basketball fit. Let's get this straight. So it's Maxey, VJ, LeBron, Jaylen Brown, and Embiid / Ariel Hukporty.
I was about to say Ariel Hukporty in the span of the last hour and a half just became one of the, no joke, one of the more interesting players in the league. Mm-hmm. Unless they still have they still have Bono, right? But
I think he left.
Oh, did Adam Bono leave?
I think he did.
Hold on, terrible job by me not knowing where Adam Bono signed in free agency. No, he's still with the Sixers.
Oh, he's still with the Sixers. Okay.
Yeah, unless this is inaccurate. I think it's accurate. Anyway, but presumably they got Hukporty for a reason. But whatever. Put Huck aside. And how soon before we start giving VJ Edgecombe the nickname Baby? Because that motherfucker's gonna be spending a lot of time in the corner.
Yo, dude, he's actually the third thing I thought of. I said VJ Edgecombe went from if you're a Sixers fan, you went from, all right, yes, we got swept by the eventual NBA champions, but the future's bright. We have Maxey, we have VJ. Yeah. Hopefully we can get, and then you think they get rid of Paul George for Jaylen Brown, and now you're thinking, all right, we got something here. We just have to figure out this Embiid piece, but we got something here, because I don't believe that everyone has to be on the same age or the same timeline, whatever. But now, he's gonna like you said, he's gonna call him Baby because he's gonna be in the corner. He is the dude. Jaylen Brown might be the fourth option on that team. Might be.
Let's make our predictions right now in order of scoring average. Put aside games played because Joel Embiid might play 13 games for all we know. In terms of scoring average, who's going to be the leading scorer on the Philadelphia 76ers this year?
Tyrese Maxey.
I say Jaylen Brown. So who's going to be the second leading scorer on the Philadelphia 76ers this year?
Okay, so
average.
All right, so if I have Maxey 1, I would say Jaylen Brown 2. Max is going to be. It's going to be like in Cleveland when they're like, "Oh, well, how's Kyrie going to adapt to LeBron?" I'm like, "Well, Kyrie's going to have the ball in his hands." Like,
I will say Maxey too. So we have the same top two. Who's going to be the number 3 leading scorer on the Philadelphia 76ers this year?
Scoring average.
Scoring average. We're not doing total points because that just gets into crazy town.
Well, it's either. Well, what if I were to say LeBron James because
you could say whatever. It's
by the end of the year, Joel Embiid may not be on.
All right, we're saving that. That's the next conversation that I want to have. For right now, we're doing with this roster.
LeBron. Actually, no. I'll go Embiid.
I'm going with Embiid too. I think LeBron will be 4th. I think LeBron is going to make a run at averaging a triple-double as a 42-year-old or 41/42-year-old. I think that will mean something to him, and I think it will be his way to salvage what will undoubtedly be the lowest scoring average season of his career. Which actually, off the top of my head, what do you think the lowest LeBron James scoring average season has been thus far as through his career?
For some reason, 17.6 popped in my head, but I feel like he scored more than that his first year in Cleveland. So I'm going to say his first year in Cleveland.
This is so funny.
19.
You want to laugh?
What?
He scored had the exact same scoring average. How is did I not realize this? He had the exact same scoring average last year as he did as a rookie, 20.9.
20.9. Okay.
So he's never averaged below effectively 21 points a game. I think this year it's going to be. I think it's going to because all these guys are going to miss games. And so, like, Embiid's average is going to be propped up because when he plays, like, he'll get his. When LeBron plays, he'll get his. But I think LeBron's going to be 4th. I think Edgecombe's going to be 5th. Although Edgecombe will play every game. So,
yes.
But then again, how much is that going to help him? Let's save the Embiid trade. Let's focus on this team right now because I want to have the Embiid trade conversation because I think that's a maybe not so sneakily very interesting part of this. Like, best compliment I could give this team. I think they have unselfish players, which is going to sound a little crazy with Jaylen Brown in particular, because Jaylen Brown we know likes to shoot and doesn't always love to pass. But I think LeBron James will be unselfish. I think Tyrese Maxey is the sort of guy who will do what it takes to win. And I think actually Joel Embiid is probably the best thing I can say about the man. I don't think he is a guy that needs to go out there and shoot it. I think he's obviously effective with the ball in his hands, and he knows he needs to have the ball in his hands. But I don't think he cares necessarily at this stage of his career about taking a million shots. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to be a very smart team because LeBron's smartest player we've had in the last 25 years. I think Joel Embiid's incredibly smart. Maxey, I think he's developing as a playmaker, but I think he's pretty, smart player. He's not LaMelo Ball out there. So I think they'll make it work. And it's not like do they have enough shooting? Maybe not.
Somebody said that in the chat, like they have no shooting in their lineup. And I'm like, all right.
They have no
I'm looking
elite
at last
shooting.
year. Yeah. They don't have elite shooting, but they have like Maxey last year was 37%, VJ was 35, Embiid was 33.
So like Embiid,
Jaylen Brown's never been a great 3-point shooter.
So Jaylen Brown's gonna have I don't want to say all the open threes he wants. Jaylen Brown's going to get open threes. LeBron James is going to get open threes. Joel Embiid, if he wants to shoot him and he doesn't want to shoot him that much, is going to have open threes. Maxey's a really good shooter. I'm assuming we're going to get a step up from VJ. I'm actually not that concerned for them about the shooting. For me, it's like if they face an elite offense, like what does that look like? Because
yes, because that team couldn't stop us last year, us being the Knicks, and LeBron is at 41 and a half years old, is not going to be out there, crazy rotations, locking people up, what have you.
He could dial it up for a quarter, but in a playoff series against a top offense, like you think he's out there, giving it like, and that's what we're talking about here, which I think gets us to the next conversation that you want to have, which is the Joel Embiid trade conversation. Because that's one of the first things that popped into my head, and The name that went in my head is Anthony Davis. Did you not? What? Why? How did you think of the Embiid part of it?
There's an episode. I saw somebody tweet like, that they're gonna like now. Actually, it was about Anthony. It was about Anthony Davis, but I forget what team should trade for Anthony Davis. So I'm gonna give another shout out to the Basketball Illuminati podcast. And they were discussing this whole LeBron thing. This is like 2 days ago. And I think Tom Haberstroh made a very good point. Tom, if it's not you, if it's someone else, I apologize to that person. Tom, you take the credit. In the past, when LeBron was looking to change teams, after he made his I'm done taking discounts, obviously the making sure you have the money mattered. Now that he's on a minimum, the leverage changes because it's, you're getting me on a minimum. You're getting LeBron James on a minimum. However, I would like these things. And the trade-off is, remember, you're getting LeBron James on the minimum. So while we all know LeBron to string out things for the sake of stringing them out, I wonder how much of the conversation was him and Rich Paul saying to Mike Gansey, you see number 21 over there, you got to get that. We know that's not going to work. And him saying, all right, or at least agreeing to like, all right, let's give it like December, whatever. But at the same time, if you're the Sixers, are you going to start like leveraging? You're not going to start like trading players and slapping assets on those distressed assets in Joel Embiid to trade a guy who literally said on Rihanna's internet today, this is my last decision, and signed a 2-year deal.
So here's the thing. I agree with you that LeBron, because money talks and everything else walks, does not have the leverage that he used to. He didn't have any leverage with the Lakers the last year and a half. Mm-hmm. And I think once he came to that rude awakening a year ago, that's why without question, with all due respect to all the Giannis nonsense, the absolute funniest thing that happened in the NBA in the last calendar year was the LeBron having the courtesy to tell the Lakers, I'm not re-signing with you, when they made it clear 12 calendar months earlier, dude, bye.
Yeah.
See that clock above your head? It's ticking. Like, that was the funniest shit in the world. He didn't have leverage with them. So I don't know what kind of leverage he's going to have with the Sixers, but I don't think this is a LeBron James wish list thing. I think this is if we swap out Joel Embiid for someone that can actually play defense, we could actually win the title. Because right now with Joel Embiid, unless Joel Embiid, goes to Europe and gets some kind of experimental treatment, maybe you could go to wherever Paul George went to get his 25-game suspension. I don't think they could defend at an apt level, But if you put Anthony Davis in there, I just looked it up. Davis makes a little bit more than Embiid this year, about $300,000. It doesn't matter if he made $1 more. That just means that the Sixers need to add a second salary, which they have. I just checked it. They have some low-level salaries of guys that don't matter on their roster. So they could do Embiid plus something to Washington for Anthony Davis. And then from there, it's a matter of how much do you have to sweeten the pot to trade for a guy that is due a contract extension right now. And this is what's so fascinating about this. I'm probably maybe getting ahead of myself. Maybe these two teams never talk. Maybe the Anthony Davis thing is completely just like in my imagination. But like part of the negotiation is the Anthony Davis extension negotiation with the Philadelphia 76ers, which brings us right back around to Joel Embiid, because right now the Sixers are staring at $58 million for Embiid this year, 63 the next year, 67.5 player option the year after that. Spoiler alert, he's picking that up. So Anthony Davis has a $62.8 million player option for 27-28. So maybe the Sixers are like, well, we're already on the hook for 2 more years after this one of Joel Embiid. let's bite the bullet and give David, we'll trade for Davis, give him 3, he'll opt out, give him 3 years. So we're adding 1 more year to this. That's the tax we have to pay. But if they get a championship potential starting center in return, and I'm pretty sure they have some picks to trade. I'm checking it right now, but I don't know.
That's what I was looking up.
That's where my mind went. Because I think that that to be a real, and Anthony Davis doesn't want to be in Washington. So
unless they paid him, which I don't think they're going to.
Well, no. Here, Philadelphia 76ers.
So they have their first this year. They have their first. They don't have. They have a first next year from 2028 from the Clippers.
They have 2 outgoing firsts. They have an outgoing first in 2031, and they have an outgoing first in 2028. And they also have some firsts coming in.
Yes,
as you just said, from the Clippers in 28, 29. The point is, if they want to put together a like an Anthony Davis package surrounding Joel Embiid, they could do it, and I don't think it would be that hard. And I bet you Washington would bite because
they'll take the asset. Yeah,
they'll take the first, and they'll say, hey, Joel Embiid, we're we'll take 30 games of you for the next however many years.
Exactly.
That's where I'm looking. I'll ask you this preemptively: if they were able to complete that trade, would the Sixers scare you at that point?
No.
Okay.
And they wouldn't scare you because, in theory, Anthony Davis will do all the things defensively that a healthy Joel Embiid used to be able to do. But again, I just keep going back to this concept of there's one ball, right? So you're gonna bring in Anthony Davis, and lest we forget his injury issues, you're gonna bring in Anthony Davis
absolutely.
and say, listen, rebound, defend, block shots,
and get scraps,
and you're gonna get 10 shots a game.
That's not gonna fly.
That's not gonna fly. So this is their team. If they did that, I'd be. But you know what, Mike Gansey, listen, he's gonna I guess he'll do it. To your point, let's say they trade a 2033 first. He probably won't be around in 2033. On the as a GM.
Yeah, I mean, and this is where it gets back to the timeline thing, which is I agree. I completely agree with what you said before about the whole concept of everybody needs to be on the same timeline is overrated. Obviously, it makes life easier when you are, but they can give this thing a 2 to 3 year. They can give themselves a 2 to 3 year window here with LeBron for this year, presumably next year too. Whether it's Embiid, whether it's they trade for Anthony Davis, and then Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's 30, right? Now he could sign an extension now, but he's under contract for another several years, so you don't have to do anything with Jaylen Brown. You could let the Jaylen Brown, you could let him just play out his existing contract if you want. And my point is, they have the luxury of seeing where this thing goes over this season, next season, maybe the season after that. And then at that point, VJ Edgecombe is he's finishing his rookie contract, and Tyrese Maxey is, what is he, 25, 26? So he's still young too.
But okay, 2 years of this. So now you have basically wasted 2 years of VJ Edgecombe's development.
You can't. All due respect to VJ Edgecombe, if they, and this is where I'm going to push back on you, I'm not saying they should be favored if they did that move, but you're telling me that team, if you swap out Embiid for Davis, couldn't win a championship? It's a health related question, really.
It's health, and it's one ball.
It's sacrifice. Are these guys going to be willing to sacrifice after they already have it? 3 of these guys already have a title. Jaylen Brown has a title. Anthony Davis has a title. LeBron James has a title.
All right. Jaylen Brown basically said last season where he blew a 3-1 lead to the Philadelphia 76ers was the best season of his career.
Yeah.
So,
because he got to shoot it.
Yes. So sacrifice, whatever. Anthony Davis, again, first of all, Anthony Davis doesn't even want to play center. He's never.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He's never. This is not going. This is 2011 LA, 2011-12 LA Lakers all over again. That's the Kobe, Nash, Dwight Howard, Pau Gasol. And they have Pau Gasol shooting threes in the corner. Like,
what does Anthony Davis want the most? He wants to get paid.
He'll get his money from somebody.
If he gets paid, I think he'll play nicely in the sandbox. That's my prediction. But
I think these are NBA players who, as much as we want to paint them as prima donnas and fake moguls and self-obsessed, self-absorbed people, they like playing basketball.
Yeah.
And I don't think Anthony Davis is going to sit there and say, like, I'm going to get 10 shots a game and be happy with it.
I'm not. I'm being more playing devil's advocate here. I just wouldn't discount it as a something that could work. Let's talk about the East.
Okay.
I think that's the last part of this. So we should say, in addition to Miami not getting LeBron James, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cavaliers of Cleveland, don't have LeBron James, but they do have James Harden, who I'm sure is in a gym somewhere working hard right now as we speak. What do you think?
Working hard on what is the question?
You don't think he's doing wind sprints? That picture of him in Fanatics Fest in the Brooklyn uniform. Did you see it?
I haven't.
The wall of Harden.
Oh my God!
There was a whole wall of Harden throughout his career, and the photograph that these people, shout out to whoever designed that wall, selected of James Harden in a Brooklyn Nets uniform.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like he should have been behind the counter at a bodega serving up chopped cheese and getting high on his own supply. That's what that picture looked like. And that was years ago. Okay. Look, is not a good result for Cleveland.
Is it not?
No, I don't think this is. If you get LeBron James on your team.
No. At 41 years old, like, you just can't say, just get him on your team. Like,
hold on. Does this team have a snowball's chance in hell of winning anything this year?
No matter who they put on their team that was realistically available, they didn't have a snowball's chance in hell. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think they would have
any closer to the title. What? Go ahead.
I don't think they would have won the East if they got LeBron, but
all right, then what are we talking about? Like, they could have gotten to a conference final. They could maybe have, Detroited their way to a conference final again, right? But
my point is more that there's a world where they're not a top. Let's go through it, because I think there's a world where they're not a top 6 team. My take, my instant reaction was, assuming the Raptors get Kawhi, I think you can make an argument that the best 4 teams in the East are in the Atlantic Division.
Jesus.
Yeah. So you're
right. You're absolutely right.
Last year it was Detroit 1, Boston 2, Knicks 3, Cavs 4, Raptors 5. Raptors without Kawhi Leonard, by the way. 5, Hawks 6, Sixers 7. So already they had 4 of the top 7 teams in the East, and then Orlando was 8, Hornets were 9, Heat were 10, and then lest we forget about the Indiana Pacers, who finished with the second worst record in the East. Now, here we could go back and forth. Your number 1 team in the East. I'm sure this is not going to be a surprise. Yeah, there you go. The New York Knicks. I said I did a Patreon mailbag for Knicks School yesterday, and I said I'm going to pick the Knicks to win the East just because I don't see another team that I would say, oh, that team's going to have a better record in the East.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you gave me New York Knicks playoff seed over under 1.5 at even money before next year, I think I would take I guess it would be the over, because we don't know who it's going to be. Someone's going to be gunning for it in the regular. Someone's going to come out. They're going to be good. They're going to get on a roll.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to win some games, and they're going to be gunning for it. We know the Knicks aren't going to for shit. They're not going to care.
They're not going to care.
That's the only reason I say that.
They might just bullshit their way into 60 wins this year, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and these guys, lest we forget, these guys are exhausted still. None of them have rested. How many of them have slept in the last 6 weeks?
I think they have found pockets of sleep, and I think they're right now that Summer League is over, Fanatics Fest is over, the World Cup is over, they're all somewhere in a tropical island with a drink in their hand, and they will be there for an extended period of time.
I have a feeling that they're not going to be on the same tropical island that I'm going to be in 48 hours. But if I see anybody there, I'll give a hearty wave. Okay, so we have Knicks 1. We both have Knicks 1. Who's your number 2 team in the East? We're just talking regular season.
Regular season wins.
Well, actually, hold on. Are we talking championship equity? Or are we talking?
I was going to ask you. Like, I thought we were doing like where I think these teams are going to finish.
No, let's do
championship equity. Okay,
let's do championship equity. Best teams. Yeah. Okay. So we both have the Knicks at 1. Who's your number 2?
Jesus. Teams who I think could win the title.
Is Jesus a free agent? Maybe the Cavs could sign him.
What? Oh my goodness! No, I can't believe I'm about to say this.
I think it's the right answer. I think I know exactly what you're going to say, and I think it's the right answer.
The Boston Celtics.
Oh no, I was oh man.
It's either Cleveland or Boston.
How could you say 3 minutes ago?
Yes.
That it didn't matter if the Cavs got LeBron James or not because they stink. And now you're saying you're thinking about Cleveland as the second best team in the East?
Okay, see that I didn't say second best team in the East. You said championship equity. And here's what I'm saying. But here's what I'm saying. I'm looking at these teams and I see a lot of good, but not great. So I'm grading on a curve almost because I have the Knicks. After the Knicks, I think there's a space. And then it's like, okay, Detroit, should Detroit be number 2? No. You want to put Toronto? Maybe you want to put Toronto. Maybe Toronto.
Let's get to Toronto.
If Toronto with Kawhi, maybe. But then again, Kawhi. Oh, speaking of guys who don't stay healthy, then it's like I'm looking at Boston. All right, whatever. And hold on. You know where I believe. Go ahead, John.
Let's stay on Boston for a sec.
Yes.
So they have 48 minutes of very good center play in
theory.
In theory, in Mitch and Kata. Starting lineup, we assume, is going to be Tatum. ESPN really needs to get this shit updated. They still have Jaylen Brown on the
roster.
Celtics. Yeah. Hold on, let me pull up their salary cap. That's going to be
that'll have the right thing. It'll be Pritchard, White, Tatum, Mitch, and then who's the 4?
Hold on, did you say Paul George?
That's the guy I was forgetting. So
all right, so it's going to be Tatum, George, White, and then I actually think
Mitch and Pritchard.
Are they going to start Pritchard?
I think they'll start Pritchard.
Okay, fine. Let them start Pritchard. So it's Pritchard, White. That's because
then you're starting. Because then you're starting Sam Hauser or Shireman.
I would have thought okay. Well, give it to Pritchard. They're talking about he's the next Jalen Brunson, so I guess that means he's going to start. Off the bench is Sam Hauser, Hugo Gonzalez,
Mr. Untouchable.
I thought Baylor Shireman was. Oh no, it is Hugo. The meth king of Worcester, Massachusetts, Baylor Shireman. And then, do you know Mike Conley's on the Boston Celtics?
I was about to say, I forgot Mike Conley was a Celtic.
That's all he's going to be playing. And then the newly extended Jordan Walsh. So, look, they have a real – it's a good basketball team. It's a very good basketball team. Do they have the second most championship equity in the East?
As in, could they win 3 rounds? Who do I trust to win 3 rounds? But honestly, I don't trust any of these teams because they all have like flaws. And I'm just put my Knick fandom to the side.
The Sixers bench before you go any further, as of now, is Dean Wade, Anthony Simons, Dominic Barlow, who was not even in the rotation by the playoffs. Man, it gets pretty gnarly. After they got a rookie Phylon who's supposed to be pretty good, but I don't really know much about him. And they have depth at center now with Huckborty and Bono.
Here's why I ask: is it order of finish versus championship equity? Because I could see a world where the Philadelphia 76ers finish second in the Eastern Conference.
So you're actually more bullish on the Sixers' regular season standings place than you are on their championship equity. Yes. I have it the other way around.
I think because of the load management, injury management that has to happen during the season, those guys, and I think they have one of the 5 best coaches in the league. To your point earlier, one night's going to be an Embiid night. One night is going to be a Jaylen Brown night, whatever. Oh, Embiid's not playing, LeBron, whatever. Like, I think they can manufacture 55 wins, 53 wins. Shout out Robert.
I was about to say 55 is aggressive.
Yeah, they can manufacture like 53 wins. I can see it, and everyone gets like, "Oh my God, look at this and that," and then they're not winning 2 playoff rounds.
All right. Well, I'm not putting the freaking Sixers in the finals, to be clear, but I have them number 2 on my list. Who's your number 2? I need a team.
So let me ask you a question. Who would you trust to win two playoff series? The Sixers or the Celtics? You're Boston Celtics.
Oh, stop it.
I mean,
honestly,
but the fact that you're like, the fact that you haven't like said that like definitively, it proves my point.
You know what? I'm changing my answer because I keep forgetting about this team, and that's a terrible job by me. My number 2 is Indy.
Sure. I think the idea that they're just going to walk right in and just going to pick up where they left off.
That's why we're not doing standings finish.
Okay, championship equity. Okay, but even then, like,
he has a year to get back in shape.
I know. I'm. See,
and there's no guesswork.
The thing is, the Pacers have this thing where they twiddle their thumbs for 30 games and they start slow, and then and it's like, okay, cool. It's like, well, guess what? You're the 5 seed now. And if you just think you're just going to repeat 2 years ago because that's the formula against this much better Eastern Conference, then it's like,
I think the fact that we're hemming and hawing about who's 2, who's 3, who's 4, who's 5, who's 6, I don't think the standings are going to matter that much. Like, I really don't. I think the Pacers roadshow, we know from experience, it travels perfectly well. Like, to me, whether they finish, you don't want them in the play-in, which again is going to be tough. The East this year is going to be tough to stay out of the play-in. Like, there's going to be a good team or 2 in the play. I have Indy at 2. Who's your number 2?
I'm going Boston.
You're going Boston. Okay, fine.
Actually, you know what? I'll go Indy with you. Simply because Joe Mazzulla has to show me that he's learned his lesson, and until he's learned his lesson, then they're done.
It sounds
like a contender.
It sounds like what's the Brad Stevens sending him to church. Yes. Is Boston your number 3 then?
I'll put the number 3.
All right, you're putting Boston at 3. With the caveat that I don't think the possibility of them executing a Embiid for AD trade is completely insane. I'm going to put Philly at number 3.
All right. Next, I have Pacers.
My number 4 will be Boston.
I'll put the Sixers here.
So we're swapping 3 and 4. So you have Philly at 4. All right. My number 5, assuming Kawhi Leonard plays basketball this year, is Toronto.
As plays basketball as in he's injury free, or plays basketball as in he's not suspended by the league?
Both.
If I'm going to shit on the championship equity of the Sixers because of injury, I'm not going to just ignore it for Kawhi. So I will put Cleveland here.
Okay. I don't think that's nuts. And
then I'll put Toronto.
Well, you know who is getting shit on?
Miami.
Shocking.
I was getting to them next.
No, oh my God.
Wait,
the team that won 60 games.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I saw them a second ago. Yeah. They're what? I'm sorry. What championship equity do they have besides we won a whole bunch of regular season games last year before taking a big fat dump in our building in a game 7?
Say that a little louder, and JB Bickerstaff's going to show up at your door with a
crying. No, he's going to be there crying and complaining and pointing at officials.
Okay, I need a 6 team. Jesus.
Caw.
I'm not taking the Hawks. I'll put. I really don't like the summer that the Pistons had. I'll put the Cavs.
I'm not. Listen, the Pistons have. Listen, man. I may have to if I want to talk to a Pistons fan this year, I may need a translator because I do not speak playing. Shout out Andrew Claudio.
If they go from 60 wins to the play-in, do you know how funny that would actually be?
It will be, but again, I said this at the beginning. I said this at the beginning. I said this when Miami acquired Giannis. I said between Detroit, Boston, New York, Cleveland, Toronto, Miami, and Indiana.
Indy, yeah.
That's 7 teams. One of them is not making the top 6.
Well, there's going to be a couple of disappointed teams because we've each rattled off 6, and neither of us have said Detroit yet. Neither of us have said Miami yet. Neither of us have said Orlando yet, and neither of us have said Atlanta yet. I will put the Piston. This is championship equity?
Yes.
Fuck Detroit. I'm putting Miami at 7. I'm putting Detroit at 8.
I'm putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You have New York, Indy, Boston, Philly, Cleveland, Toronto.
Yeah. So I'm putting the Hawks 7.
Oh my God.
I'm putting the Pistons 8. I'm putting Miami 9. I'll put Orlando 10.
You are keeping the Miami Heat in the Memorial Miami Heat 9-10 playing game sponsored by South Beach Spray Tans or whatever.
As currently constructed, that is a playing team. As currently constructed.
You didn't have to put them 9, though. I'll put the Hawks 9 just to and then we both have Orlando at 10, or do you have
I put Orlando at 10. Charlotte's 11. Brooklyn 12.
Over Washington? How disrespectful. Especially once Washington gets Joel Embiid. Watch out. Trae Young and Joel Embiid on the same basketball team. Oh my God. Talk about feeding families.
They should trade for Hallie and complete the Trinity. Yo, dog.
Prediction. Hold on. Prediction.
Yes.
Charlotte will finish ahead of one of these teams. I'm not. I have my 10. You have your 10. Neither of us picked Charlotte. I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm predicting that we're going to be wrong and that Charlotte is going to somehow get into the play-in.
If Charlotte gets into the play-in, that means they're finishing above the Hawks, the Pistons. See, Charlotte might take a step back. Charlotte could take a step back, or it could be the greatest addition by subtraction.
I think the Hornets have a chance to be I think they have a chance to be a top 5 offense again. I'm pretty sure they were top 5 last year, and and just try to run teams out of catch teams not by surprise because everybody saw last year, but just hand the team over to Miller and Knippel and see where it goes. Anyway, we'll have plenty of time to talk about them. So so we're not far apart.
No, we're not far apart. Hornets, Nets, 11, 12. I'm just doing this for shits and giggles. Well, I know who's going to be last. Milwaukee. And then it's either Wizards or Bulls. Oh, how do we forget about our friends, the Chicago Bulls?
No, listen, the Chicago Bulls are going to be a very fun, spunky 28-win team. I look forward to watching them play basketball.
I'll put
oh my God, this is not actually, someone actually put this out.
What?
Is a aggregation tweet of Florida Sports Buzz. An NBA coach reportedly told the Miami Heat to stay away from Russell Westbrook because he's difficult to coach. You don't really. There's a shocker of
if look, they're
going to get DeRozan probably today.
Yes, the DeRozan sweepstakes. Now that LeBron has finally gotten out the way,
they should just get signed DeRozan and Russell Westbrook and pair them with Giannis and Bam and just say we're going back to the 1956.
It'll be the 90s all over again. Yeah, but
who else could we put on with those guys to completely destroy the spacing?
Well, they're non-shoot. You know what? They're gonna need spacing. So let's get Zach LaVine with DeRozan for the third time.
Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins can shoot a little bit.
Emphasis on a little bit.
All right, let's finish up. Between Miami and Cleveland, who's more disappointed today?
Cleveland.
I think it's Miami. Or should we include the Warriors in that conversation?
I think the Warriors knew they were out from a long time ago. I think their level of disappointment, they were the most disappointed, but that was like 3 weeks ago. Because all that shit I had to hear about, which I agreed with, like, oh, LeBron's gonna, because I don't think Savannah and Zuri are moving to Philadelphia, which means he's gonna leave them behind.
Oh, you didn't see the? I don't know where'd this come from. This was aggregate. I think Shams said it that LeBron may live in New York this year, and just I don't know if I got duped. Maybe I got duped. It has happened before, but then just shuttle back and forth via helicopter or whatever.
That is so he's going full. It's happened before. Shout out JJ Redick.
Listen, would you want to live in Philly?
Yes. But if I had the ability to, you know what, LeBron, as someone who has lived in Philadelphia and worked in New York and traveled back and forth, I'm going to assume that it's an easier time for you to do it than it was for me. So maybe he would. Dude, if he lives in New York, this will, any doubt at all about how is out the window.
No, man. You know who we should pour one out for? Anyone in the West that is not a current top 6 West team, because you want to talk about uninspiring. Of all the takes you've had in the last, since we've been doing the show, your East is better than the West. That is aging like fine wine.
I always tell the truth, even when I lie.
The seventh best team in the West, the owner is actively sabotaging the entire organization from within because he's trying to pull a real life major league. Have the team stink so bad that they move.
Yes. Arash Markazi of the Sporting Tribune is the one who said Shams brings up the possibility of LeBron living in New York.
There you go.
Because I was like, where is he going to live? He's going to live in South Jersey. He's going to live in Center. Like, he's not going to live in Center City. Or maybe he would. He's going to live in South Jersey. But he could live in New York. And it's 45 minutes away by helicopter.
Yeah, there you go. Man, watch the Jazz be like the 7th seed this year. Okay, I think we have some. Hold on, we have some chats. I forgot we have super chats now.
Yes.
Okay, so here we go. Iceman Sham, what's going on, Iceman? LeBron, Amazon, Comic-Con, still Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5, baby.
I don't think this is scaring any Knicks fans today. Look, it's gonna be a tough East. It's gonna be a tough East. You know, if they go, what did we go through the East last year? 12-2.
12-2.
I would be surprised if they went 12-2 again, but you never know.
I'd be surprised also.
Jessica, what's going on, Jess? Versus Philly, Knicks in 2. LOL. Hurt more. LeBron or Joel Embiid, who misses more games? Embiid.
Embiid.
LeBron takes such good care of himself.
By the way, 2 years ago, Jaylen Brown said LeBron James' son was not an NBA player. Last year, last year, Jaylen Brown said Joel Embiid is a big flopper, and now both of them are his teammates. Ain't won't he do it?
Sense of humor, man.
And by the way, Twitter is like responding to that tweet of like, no helicopters, please.
Oh, well, yeah. That's very real.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's so this is the best suggestion I have seen for where LeBron should live. From Jeff Flores, Jersey Shore. Can we get the show back up? Put LeBron in a house with Snooki and what was the guy? The
situation.
Situation, yes.
I never watched the show, but I know some of it. And then there's the other guy. Was in Paulie D.
I watched season 1 of the show. I remember I was DJing a New Year's Eve one night, and the bar I was DJing at promoted for like weeks on end. I forget which cast member, but like one of the cast members was supposed to roll through, and they stood them up.
Shocker. Probably was a Paulie D. I actually went to a party in Vegas DJ by Paulie D. Good times. Jersey Shore is sneaky far from Philly, like whatever.
Jersey Shore is just not conducive. If you're going to the Jersey Shore, you're going to the Jersey Shore. It's not. Yeah,
you can. As someone who lived on the Jersey Shore, but southern half, like I lived in Atlantic City, it's a 45-minute. It's an hour ride. It's an hour ride.
That's where he should live. He should live in the remains of Atlantic City. Where I might be in Atlantic City at the end of this month because it's my brother-in-law's birthday, and he likes to go to AC.
Oh, I would go with you guys. I'll
let you know where we're going. We went.
Right, let me know. Actually, ironically, I'm going to be on the Jersey Shore end of the month, but I'm going to be up further north.
Okay.
One other comment from Vivek. Shout out to Vivek. Said, "No,
what's up, Vivek?
Braun lives in New York. The taxes in Pennsylvania are much lower than NYC." Vivek, when you're as rich as LeBron James is, state taxes and city taxes are not the issue. Yeah. Like LeBron has probably had a effective 14% tax rate for like the last 10 years. Like that is not the issue with him. But he would live he'd live in Manhattan. And honestly, here's why I wouldn't put it past him to live in Manhattan. Yeah, yes, he's LeBron James, and not like you just like walk down the street to Whole Foods or anything like that. But outside of LA, New York is where a celebrity can hide the most.
Yeah, no, 100%. Very last thing, what's the ownership situation in Philly? Because I wonder if there haven't been some conversations about, LeBron, you want to own a team post-retirement? Well, wouldn't you know, we got a 10% equity share just waiting for you over here.
Oh yeah, I can see like in the Sixers. I think
Vivek says Harris Blitzer.
Yes, Josh Harris. I don't think he's selling that team anytime soon.
Not selling the whole team, but just
give him like 10%.
But let him buy in.
I think LeBron still wants his team in Vegas, although Vegas is not happening. But you know what?
Listen, man,
becoming a minority owner is a stepping stone to. Now, granted, usually former all-time great players don't have to go through all that. Hi, Michael Jordan. But they look at this. Who's Dwayne Wade, minority owner of the Jazz.
That's right. But he's I think probably a very small.
Yeah, but like you get not your foot in the door, but like now you see how the sausage is made from that level, and then that's possible.
Also, not for nothing, this is crazy. Michael Jordan could afford, I think, pretty easily to buy the Hornets back when he did.
Actually, I heard he had a lot of minority partners. Like he didn't have.
Well, maybe he wanted to diversify his risk, but like
from what I remember hearing at the time, it was like, we want you to own this team. David Stern, like, we want you to own this team. And he was like, he didn't have as much the liquidity to buy it. So he had more than normal.
The expansion fee for the Vegas team over under
Over.
$5 million. $5 billion.
Over.
Over $5 billion?
The Celtics just went for 6, right? The Celtics went for 6, and the Lakers went for 10. I think the valuation is going to be $8 billion. I think it's $8 billion.
You're no-
brother. Brother. I remember when the Los Angeles Clippers were, and it was like, all right, they might go for 500-600, and then Steve Ballmer came in and bought that team for $2 billion, and we thought he was nuts. And now look at it. He got a deal.
He did get a deal.
You are underestimating. These owners want the big, like, dude. What did my man say in Billions? Sports teams are how we knight people in this country.
Yeah,
and there's only 30 of them. Yeah. So if you want in, it's gonna be, like I said, if the Celtics went for 6 2 years ago, that's the absolute floor. So you come in at 6, someone's gonna come in at 6.5. So they're gonna be like, all right, let's make it 8. You got 8? You got 8.
We'll see if we get. I'm curious what happens with the expansion thing, generally, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. All right. Well, this was fun.
This was fun.
And it's been a fun season. Doing NBA Takedown with you and Jeff. Shout out to Jeff.
Shout out.
We will be back at some point. I don't know if we're gonna hop on at some point. We'll probably hop on at some point this summer. But I just want to everybody watching. Thank you for what was a fun season. We all 3 of us wanted to dip our toes and just being able to talk about the NBA, and it's been a blast. If you're checking us out on Twitter right now, be sure to go over and subscribe to the NBA Takedown YouTube channel. So you're on alert whenever we go live next and all those good things. And anything else?
No, that's it. Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5 forever. All right. We'll talk to y'all when we talk to you. Peace out.